Chapter 91, You Shots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 91 Qianyu takes action. Release the martial spirit, that for a while, all kinds of light shine, the color of the spirit rings of the 5 youths is the same, one white and one yellow, representing a 10-year spirit ring and a century-old spirit ring. Naturally, all 5 of them are battle soul masters without exception. Among them are 2 weapon soul masters and 3 beast soul masters. The 2 weapon spirits are spear and 3-pronged fork, and the 3 beast spirits are deer, sheep and horse. From the point of view of Wuhuan itself, neither are powerful. The disdainful light in Dai Mubai's evil eyes became even brighter. Are these the disciples of the so-called Advanced Soul Master Academy? Those who still have 10-year soul rings? Brothers, open the soul rings and show them. The evil-eyed white tiger, the oldest student of Shrek Academy, has never been a reasonable person. White tiger, possessed. A layer of intense pale light suddenly burst out from his body. Dai Mubai stretched out one arm and raised his chest. His bones crackled and his muscles suddenly expanded. Pull up your clothes. The 4 pupils of Dai Mubai's eyes turned into a deep blue. The cold murderous intent dissipated invisibly, full of tyrannical intimidation. At his feet, 3 shining halos rose one after another, rising quietly. 2 yellow and 1 purple. Between the circulation of soul rings, the surging soul power formed a wave of pressure and hit his face. Although one arm was removed by Qianyu, the one-armed tiger is still a tiger. Maybe it's because of the restraint of Wuhuan. The opponent's 3 soul masters with beast spirits couldn't help trembling and took a few steps back when Dai Mubai finished possessing his mighty spirit. Phoenix. Possession. Purple-red light surged out from the fat man's body, and his short head suddenly became longer, and gathered towards the center, turning into a mohawk-like line. 2 circles of yellow soul rings rose from his feet at the same time, and long feathers extended from his exposed thick arms. The hands also turned into claw shapes. The scorching air flow revolved around the fat man's body, even though he was much shorter than the Canhui students opposite him. But when the purple flame was released from the body, however, the whole person's aura has become completely different. Combined with Dai Mubai's white tiger martial spirit, the suppressed opponent feels like he can't breathe. Only Tang San's martial spirit was still calm. 2 yellow halos like Ma Hongjuan's rose from under his feet, and the dense blue-silver grass was quietly released. Around your body, spread slowly, no need to use hands at all. After Dai Mubai released 3 soul rings alone, the 5 Canhui Academy students on the opposite side were completely exhausted, and they couldn't understand how much difference there was in the strength of 1 soul ring, let alone. This person's 3rd soul ring is still at the 1000-year level, so how can they compete with it? What makes the students of Canhui Academy extremely unbalanced is that the youngsters in front of them look much younger than them, but they can show their strength, but already above them. Stop. The teacher from Canhui Academy finally couldn't help but stood up and waved to his students. You all back down. I'm Yi Zhiqiu, director of the Foreign Affairs Department of Canhui College. Excuse me. Which sect do you belong to? Seeing Yi Zhiqiu walking up to the 3 of them, in front of the soul power I released, I resisted the pressure without using my martial soul. Dai Mubai was also secretly awestruck. He was certain of the situation before him. This middle-aged man's soul power is far superior to his own. We are from Shrek Academy. Dai Mubai didn't wait for him to speak. The fat man said proudly. As he spoke, his naked eyes stared hard at the only female student of Canhui Academy. Yi Zhiqiu froze for a moment. His eyes revealed a light of thought. Obviously, he was not very familiar with the name Shrek Academy. Shrek Academy? I don't think I've heard of it. Dai Mubai snorted coldly. That's your ignorance. Think here. Yi Zhiqiu no longer hesitated. With a flash of light in his eyes, he also released his martial soul. Mysterious turtle, possessed. Beast martial soul, mysterious turtle. A circle of black ripples was released from Yi Zhiqiu's body, forcibly suppressing the momentum of Tang San, Dai Mubai, and Fatty. 5 spirit rings and 1 white. 2 yellow. 2 purples. This is the director of the Foreign Affairs Department of Canhui College. It turned out to be a Soul King Master above level. The 4 people at Shrek Academy were suddenly shocked. Unexpectedly, This Yi Zhiqiu turned out to be a master of Soul King, however, at this moment, a figure slowly walked among them. Of course the people at Shrek Academy knew this figure, because he was none other than Qianyu. Qianyu came to the crowd, looked at them and said, "You guys are really noisy, I can't even eat a good meal, tell me, how should I pay for it?" "Boy, who the hell are you? This is a matter between our teacher and Shrek Academy. You'd better stay away and don't interfere." As soon as the voice fell, a powerful breath was released instantly, boom, a loud bang. The Tsanghue Academy student who spoke just now was directly blown away. Everyone was extremely surprised by this scene. This kid looked only 12 or 13 years old, but how could he have such a powerful soul power? Even Yi Zhiqiu couldn't do it by himself. Yi Zhiqiu looked at Qianyu in surprise and asked in a trembling voice, "I wonder who your excellency is." "Qianyu." Qianyu said 2 words lightly. For the students of Shrek Academy, they were even more surprised. They looked at Qianyu in shock, with fear in their hearts, especially Dai Mubai. After being defeated by Qianyu, he didn't dare to compete with Qianyu. They didn't know why Qianyu came to the Star Dou Forest. Like them, he was probably here to hunt the soul beasts. They are also very clear about Qianyu's strength. Qianyu is a soul sect who can fight against the soul sage. Even Xiao Wuji was no match for Qianyu. Seeing Qianyu's menacing approach, they knew that Qianyu was probably coming to cause trouble. Qianyu, we didn't provoke you, why are you here?" But when he saw Qianyu, Dai Mubai, who had been extremely arrogant just now, suddenly became frightened. Ma Hongjun also swallowed his saliva and took a few steps back. As for Tang San, he could still barely hold on. Seeing this scene, the people in Tsanghue Academy were a little confused. Who is this Qianyu? Why are the people in Shrek Academy so afraid of him? In fact, Qianyu is still a very amiable person. Generally, he will not provoke others if others do not provoke him. Since others want to provoke him, then don't blame yourself for being rude. Qianyu came to the middle of the crowd, looked at them and said, "Originally I just wanted to eat and watch a show, but you have provoked me. Think about it, how should you compensate me?" Yi Zhiqiu looked at Qianyu and asked, "What do you want? If you kneel down and kowtow to me to apologize, I will spare you. If you can't do that, you will probably have to lie down and go out today." Qianyu said calmly. "Oh, by the way, I mean everyone here, which means that you Tsanghue Academy and Shrek Academy can unite to deal with me." Qianyu added. As soon as this remark came out, no matter who it was, there was a look of incomparable surprise on their faces. End of this chapter. Chapter 98 Martial Soul Fusion Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 98 Martial Soul Fusion Technique. Immediately, sand and rocks flew around, and the tree was moved by the rolling soul power, and the entire Star Dou Forest seemed to be shaking, and the rolling power surged out. Endless soul power also poured into Qianyu. Qianyu knew that this attack was very powerful, even several times stronger than the 7th soul skill. Thousands of feathers surged in like a rolling tide of power. Boom. Meng Shu landed a blow on Qianyu's body. Rolling soul power washed over Qianyu's body. Even though Qianyu's body was wrapped in black energy, he felt the power of this blow. Qianyu flew over again and stabbed out with a spear. Bang. A violent explosion sounded, and suddenly sand and rocks flew, and smoke and dust shot up into the sky. Air waves continuously surged from the ground, covering the entire battlefield. The surrounding spirit beasts were also frightened and dispersed, so there were no spirit beasts who dared to stay here. When the smoke dissipated, Meng Shu's face showed an extremely surprised expression, because Qianyu was not dead, and he was still standing there. Not only that, the magic gun was instantly dispersed, and Qianyu was not injured at all. He could hardly believe his eyes. You must know that he was a Contra, and Qianyu was a great soul master, and the blow just now was his strongest blow, but this blow hit Qianyu without any pain or itching. How is this possible? At this time, Chao Tianxiang came up. Qianyu looked at them and said calmly, "I want to see your martial soul fusion skills." "Old man, this Qianyu is not simple. It seems that we can only use that move." Chao Tianxiang said lightly, "Everyone in the outside world knows that Duke Long and Snake are the strongest, not by either Duke Long or Snake, but when they are together. Because when they are together, they can release the martial arts fusion skills. Because Meng Shu's strongest attack couldn't kill Qianyu, now, they had only one way to kill Qianyu, and that was to release their trump card, the martial soul fusion skill. It is also a move they are proud of to dominate the Wuhuan world. In the world of martial arts, even the title Douluo dare not easily provoke the Dragon Lord and Snake Lady, because even if the title Douluo wants to block her with her martial soul fusion skills, she has to shed a layer of skin. They saw that they couldn't kill Qianyu again and again, so they could only use this trick to deal with Qianyu. Chao Tianxiang stepped forward, and they prepared to release the martial soul fusion technique. At this time, Qianyu not only felt no pressure at all, but actually smiled. The fusion skills of the male and female snakes are already comparable to ordinary title Douluo, and the 80-level Contra and the 70-level Soul Sage are comparable to the title Douluo, which is enough to see the power of the Wuhuan fusion technique. However, Qianyu was not afraid at all. At this time, Duke Long and Snake Lady had already started the fusion of martial souls. They looked at Qianyu and shouted loudly, "Martial soul fusion skill." Dragon and snake danced together. In an instant, Duke Long and Granny Snake merged their martial souls instantly, and in an instant, the billowing soul power turned into a golden dragon and a purple python. The dragon and snake entangled each other and immediately attacked Qianyu. Qianyu's eyes turned cold. This is a unique move that claims to be able to deal with title Douluo. He needs to experience it. I saw the right hand stretched out. Suddenly, Qianyu said calmly, "The yin and yang realm, unfold." That I saw a huge field that instantly enveloped the dragon and the snake. At this time, Duke Long had already seen Qianyu's domain, and was shocked. Is this a domain? How is it possible? How can he, a soul sect, own a domain? Duke Long asked in shock, but he suppressed the shock in his heart. Let's start. Suddenly, I saw Duke Long and Snake pose martial soul fusion skills being used instantly. Boom, a loud bang, endless power hit Qianyu's body. We hit him. But the next second, they were extremely shocked when they saw Qianyu disappear in an instant. They are in Qianyu's domain. In this field, Qianyu is the master of everything, and the direction in which they had just released their martial soul fusion skills was the illusion created by Qianyu. At this time, I saw the yin and yang qi constantly flowing in Qianyu's domain. Our soul power is swallowed up again. How can that be? Who the hell is he? Duke Long and Snake Lady looked at Qianyu in shock. At this time, Qianyu had already devoured their martial soul fusion skills. The powerful soul power suddenly exploded. Martial spirit fusion skill, yin-yang divine spear. Suddenly, Qianyu fused the soul skills of his samsara disc and the god of war spear in an instant. Qianyu was released with one shot. Endless gun intent fell from the sky. In an instant, endless gun intent bloomed around them. Boom, only a loud bang was heard. I saw endless white light flooding the dragon palace and snake woman. Boom dash. A huge sound resounded throughout the Star Dou Great Forest. Endless coercion was released. And billowing heat burst out instantly. A heat wave continued to hit. I saw Duke Long and Snake Woman gradually being submerged by the white light blooming from the Thousand Feathers divine spear. Boom, a loud bang. I saw the dragon and the snake were instantly knocked away. Puff, a mouthful of blood was spit out instantly. Both were seriously injured. At this moment, Meng Yiran looked at Qianyu in shock, unable to believe his eyes. Her grandfather is a soul Douluo, and his grandmother is a soul saint. The two together are almost equivalent to a title Douluo. However, neither of them is a match for this child who is about the same age as herself. Therefore, Meng Yiran was very shocked. Duke Long and Lady Snake were also shocked. They quickly stood up and came to Qianyu. Master Qianyu is unparalleled. We lose. Duke Long saluted immediately. Qianyu nodded. This dragon lord and snake woman were still aware of current affairs, so Qianyu would not kill them. At this time, Longgong Meng Shu continued, Master Qianyu, this phoenix-tailed coxcomb snake belongs to you, we will not rob it. Qianyu thought for a while, then looked at Meng Yiran and said calmly, none of us want to absorb this soul beast, so the soul ring can be given to you, but... As soon as he said this, Meng Shu looked at Qianyu in shock. However, you have to keep this snake meat. The taste of this phoenix-tailed coxcomb snake is very good. Qianyu said lightly, as soon as these words came out, the three of them were dumbfounded in front of Qianyu. Duke Long was still confused. He looked at Qianyu and saluted, "Master Qianyu, you have such strength, which shows that you are by no means a simple person. Don't you know what's behind you?" Qianyu glanced at Duke Long and replied calmly, "Martial Spirit Hall." As soon as these words came out, no matter whether it was Mr. Long, Snake Pa, or Meng Yiran, they all stood there in shock and couldn't believe it. Wuhuan Palace is the #1 force in the mainland. End of this chapter. Chapter 99 Titan Giant Ape. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. At this time, Qianyu looked at Meng Yiran and said calmly, "The soul ring is given to you." Meng Yiran looked at Qianyu in surprise, nodded, and came to the front of the crested snake. He stabbed it with the dagger in his hand, ending the life of the crested snake. Suddenly, a purple soul ring was seen rising up. Meng Yiran looked at Qianyu and quickly thanked him. "Thank you very much." Qianyu nodded, smiled calmly, and returned to everyone. At this time, Qianyu looked at the big snake. He took out his knife and came to the phoenix tail comb. At this time, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing looked at Qianyu in surprise, wondering what Qianyu was going to do. "Brother Qianyu, what are you going to do?" Ning Rongrong asked. "Make a meal for everyone." At this time, Qianyu set up the pot and walked towards his pot. Then he quickly processed the snake meat, chopped it into pieces, threw it in the pot, and started cooking. After Qianyu processed the snake meat, he cooked it in boiling water. Then he didn't know when he picked a lot of wild vegetables and mushrooms and put them in it. The aroma continued to rise. It smells so good." Xiao Wu shouted from the side. "What about your self-awareness as a soul beast?" Qianyu immediately rolled his eyes at her. He was obviously a soul beast, yet he was not shy about it. When she was with Qianyu before, she would eat meat every day. Later, Xiao Wu didn't like carrots or cabbage anymore, and she only liked eating meat. There is no consciousness of being a soul beast at all. However, the snake meat hot pot cooked by Qianyu was indeed very fragrant. After a while, everyone came over smelling the aroma. "Brother Qianyu, hurry up, I'm hungry." Xiao Wu immediately praised. Yes, brother Qianyu, I'm hungry. When will we have dinner?" Ning Rongrong opened his eyes wide and looked at the meat in Qianyu's pot. Although these people are all people of high status, Qianyu's game is fully seasoned and the side dishes are fresh, so even the dishes in high-end restaurants cannot compare. Besides, where can high-end restaurants use soul beast meat to cook dishes? "Wait a minute, let me try it." Qianyu immediately took a sip of the soup, and the soup melted into the tip of his tongue. The aroma suddenly burst out, suddenly stimulating Qianyu's taste. Not bad, not bad. It should be almost done. Let's all come over for dinner." "Okay." Immediately, everyone gathered around. Qianyu took out several bowls from his backpack and filled each person with a large bowl. Immediately, the aroma erupted. At this time, Zhu Zhuqing stood aside coldly, as if he didn't want to eat. She has been delicate since she was a child, so where has she ever eaten this kind of wild game? "Zhuqing, the snake meat is cooked, come over for dinner." Qianyu smiled and shouted quickly. I don't want to eat it." Zhu Zhuqing said coldly. "You really don't want to eat? Is this delicious?" Zhu Zhuqing opened his mouth and asked. As soon as she opened her mouth, Qianyu stuffed a piece of snake meat into her mouth. Zhu Zhuqing faced it and took a bite of the snake meat. His mouth was immediately filled with the aroma of oil, and the juice of the snake meat entered his mouth instantly. The meat was fresh and tender, melted in the mouth, and had some elasticity. In addition, the flavor of the wild vegetables picked by Qianyu is completely integrated into the snake soup. The tender and delicious meat is also mixed with the fragrance of these wild vegetables. So delicious. Zhu Zhuqing immediately yelled out, exhaled immediately, spraying mist from his mouth. After all, it is a 1,000-year-old soul beast. The soul power has not completely dissipated, and it entered the body with the soup, so this snake meat is definitely a great tonic. When Qianyu saw Zhu Zhuqing's appearance, he smiled lightly and said nothing. At this time, the male dragons and snake ladies nearby looked at Qianyu in shock. They previously thought that Qianyu fought with them for the soul beast in order to absorb the soul beast's soul ring, but they didn't expect that this Qianyu was fighting for the soul beast with them just to eat it. At this time, Meng Yiran had also finished absorbing it. She suddenly smelled the fragrance next to her. Suddenly, she looked towards the place where the fragrance was. It had been a day since she had been in this forest. She hadn't eaten in a day and she was hungry. She looked in Qianyu's direction and couldn't help but lick her dry lips. At this time, Qianyu saw Meng Yiran and smiled lightly. "Do you want to eat?" As soon as he said this, Meng Yiran looked at Qianyu with some surprise. Can I eat it?" Qianyu smiled and continued, "Come and eat." Seeing Qianyu smile, at this moment, Meng Yiran's thoughts couldn't help but focus on Qianyu. Her heart was pounding. Finally, she nodded and came to their side. Qianyu handed her a pair of chopsticks. She immediately took a piece and put it in her mouth. Suddenly, the wonderful taste spread across Meng Yiran's mouth. Meng Yiran immediately enjoyed the pleasure of being naked. "What? Smell good?" Qianyu smiled and said, "There are still a lot of them. If it tastes good, you can eat more." At this time, Meng Yiran nodded. After everyone finished eating, the sky also darkened. At this moment, a rumbling sound suddenly sounded on the ground. The whole earth began to shake. Two tall trees suddenly and slowly separated to both sides, and a huge figure walked out from there quietly. "See this big guy." Everyone's breathing seemed to have stopped. Everyone finally understood what Xiao Wu was worried about. It exists like a mountain. The dark hair all over the body shone with a faint brilliance under the faint light of the stars and the moon, although it is on all fours. But the height of the shoulders definitely exceeded 7 meters. If it stood upright, I am afraid that the height will be 15 meters away. Outwardly, this is an existence that looks like an ape and a chimpanzee, except for a pair of lantern-sized eyes shining with a topaz-like luster. The whole body is pitch black. If it is not moving at night, its body cannot even be seen clearly. The body of this big guy is too majestic. It was unbelievably majestic. Not only was its body huge, but every part of its body was covered with powerful muscles that were more terrifying than granite. The raised ground is like a small hill, but such a huge guy didn't make any sound while walking, not even the sound of breathing. It turned out to be the king of the forest, the Titan giant ape. Dragon Duke Meng Shu immediately said in great shock, "Titan giant ape appears in any spirit beast forest. They are absolutely overlord-like existences. No soul beast dares to offend it, because the result is inevitable death. Even if it is only 100-year level Titan giant ape, it can even compete with other 10,000-year level soul beasts. They have unparalleled strength and speed. There are almost no flaws in attack and defense, and the most terrifying thing is, they can also perform skills similar to soul skills. No one knows what the real skills of the giant ape are, because people who see these skills are already dead." End of this chapter.